Hey, yo, Brad. Yo,
Yeah.
Brad. What's up? How,
Yo.
how's your day feeling? Huh? How you feeling?
Charlotte FC is still playing, so I'll let you know.
We a Charlotte FC pod. Is this MLS podcast now?
MLS podcast.
MLS podcast. Yeah, I bet. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're tuning in. Thanks for listening. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. My name is James. I support Arsenal. With me tonight is Brad. He supports Chelsea. And down below that, Sean, he supports Tottenham Hotspurs. Gentlemen, what's up? Hello. How you guys doing?
Um,
Don't
I'm
all chime in at once. You just take
I-
your time.
I'm good.
You're good.
I'm
Sh-
good.
Sean's had a little bit of time to process his hype chain moment from taking that L. Um,
It's 420 today, baby.
I mean, he is also sitting in fourth, so
I'm
yeah, I know.
on the 20th game of the year. 420,
well,
bud. Brace up.
something like that, right?
20th game of this year, maybe.
Um,
No, still math doesn't check
yeah,
out.
I don't think so, man.
Not even in Florida.
Not even in Florida. A shout out to all of our Florida listeners.
FC Cup coming.
Oh yeah, there's some friendlies taking place in Florida this year down in the
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
Sunshine State. Wow, Brad, what are you doing? Is there another comment?
Trying to bring over. There was some more comments
Yo,
I was trying to get in there.
Just leave it. I'll look it up, man. I'll look it up. Brad's over here just destroying the rundown as we speak.
Wrecking it.
But before we get too deep, what we've got on offer for you tonight, we're going to talk about some comments. We're going to hit those comments about our videos from last week. We're going to talk about the Premier League action that took place at the weekend and it's been going on in the midweek. We are going to talk about the FA Cup semifinals that took place over the weekend. And then we're going to preview the Premier League that's coming up. And we've got Champions League kicking back off next week. And maybe we should also throw in the Europa League and the Conference League because English teams are still in those competitions as well, if we have time. But before we really dig into this, if you are new here, first time listening, first, we really appreciate it. Thank you for clicking on this link and finding us however that you did. If you could, hit us with a subscription or a follow or whatever it is on the platform that you're listening. It would really help us out a lot. If you're on Apple Podcasts, give us a 5-star rating if you think we deserve it. And if you don't think we deserve it, give us a 5-star anyway, because we would really appreciate it. It would help us. And that's what we're about here. But also leave a comment so that we can interact with that. But something that we do here is we try and help you in your day-to-day life with both soccer knowledge, and we don't want you to be inconvenienced in any particular specific way, right, Sean?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. You're going to want to like, subscribe, rate, and review. Or what might happen to you is you pay premium price to sit down the left field line at your favorite baseball team stadium,
Yeah.
only to find out that only out of the 30,000 seats that were available, only 2,500 of them were sold, and you don't see another soul for about 3 to 4 sections on either side of you.
Wow.
Which is what has befallen upon the Oakland Athletics, who are only pulling about 3,000 people per game.
I thought
this was going to be like a personal thing that happened to you, like you bought tickets to go see the Braves or something like that, and they didn't sell any tickets for that game, and then
I could do another one because I got one on that one too.
Oh yeah,
went to the local team's opening night.
Yeah,
it was my first and last sellout.
Really?
That it was taking an hour to an hour and 15 to get through the lines to get
like a beer.
Wow.
If you wanted beer and food, there were shorter beer lines that lasted 30 to 40.
That's
still ridiculous.
Wow.
Still ridiculous.
That's
You're missing
crazy.
If you wanted a hot dog, you were missing a third of the game.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard no for me. And I want a hot dog if I'm going to baseball.
That might be more mildly inconvenient.
Yo, for real.
I mean, I thought you were
Yes.
making a joke. That's the real mild inconvenience. But I thought you were joking on Stamford Bridge not being full because we can't sell any more tickets.
That
That's
is
why I
true.
thought you were really going with
It
this.
was empty like the old times.
Because it was like 32,000 people there today.
empty. It's what was
It's
what
like
were
a
the Arsenal
50, I
fans
think.
chanting? Hold on, let me pull this up. Arsenal fans had a good chant for it.
Yeah.
Is that still like leftover residual? Like you guys aren't allowed to sell everything, or is that just
We
okay?
cannot, for the Premier League games, we cannot sell tickets.
For
Any
anything,
more
you guys can't
tickets.
sell any more tickets for
No,
anything,
we
right?
can sell tickets for this UCL and for the FA Cup
That's
and for away
stupid.
games.
That doesn't make any sense to me. Like why just the Premier League?
So what are you just giving away
English.
tickets,
I don't
or are
know.
you just
No,
selling
they're
them to
not
the
allowed
away
to.
fans?
They can't give away the tickets. And they can't sell them to the away fans. They cannot sell any more tickets than have already been sold. The away
So how?
tickets go to the allocation goes to whatever team you're playing. So like when we were playing Arsenal, those tickets went to Arsenal to sell for the away game.
So how did you have 32,000 fans?
Because
Season ticket holders
They'd
that have already been
sold those,
issued.
or they'd already sold tickets to people.
Correct.
Oh man, I can't.
Whatever, like the first round of tickets that were being sold, because they do that like based on points. However many of those tickets got sold is what happened. And there's no like club seats, like the hospitality suites and all that stuff is all gone too.
I can't find it. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, but I can tell you the chant that we responded with.
Okay, what was it?
Champions of Europe, you'll never sing that.
Oh wow, so very original from the Chelsea fans.
I mean, that's what they, talk about trophies.
Wrong, also.
You guys want to talk about comments?
Let's get in these comments.
Let's get in these comments. And apparently,
mild inconveniences.
You told me that there were more, so I'll pull those up real quick because I don't.
There's just one more from our buddy at the end.
Oh, I see.
I enjoyed the comments from the Chelsea fans, honestly.
Which Chelsea fans?
The champions of Europe, you'll never sing that. I enjoyed that comment.
Why did you enjoy that?
Because you haven't won anything in Europe.
That's not entirely accurate, but but you're right.
Hey Sean.
What?
What have you guys won in Europe?
That's a good question. Doesn't matter.
Just asking.
All right.
I think we've gotten to exactly the same amount of Champions League finals, I believe.
As Arsenal? That is
right. What one?
Factually true.
Factually true. I believe so.
Mm.
I was like racking my brain. I was like, man, I hope there's not one in the early 90s when I wasn't paying attention. That would be the 05 final against Barcelona. 04? No, 05. 06.
06. Talk about Arsenal.
06.
Sorry. Yeah, 06.
Yeah.
I was reading
against Barcelona.
I was reading the new comment that came in so that I could. So I
problem.
Tuned you guys out. I was relying on Brad to answer your questions and for Brad to carry the podcast.
Yeah, Brad. But for Brad to know Arsenal history,
he let everyone down. I'm sorry, Sean, that Brad is the reason why we can't have nice things.
Listen, I don't look at anything pre 2000.
Understandably so.
So that's why I don't understand these trophies and history thing you guys are talking about.
We're gonna have a quick
Joel's.
Yeah, we're gonna have a quick math question for you, Brad. 2006 is before or after 2000? Okay, so we're going to talk about Joel's comment. Let's talk about Joel's comment. And this is specifically in relation to the table comments that we had last week, and I was aghast at his predictions. But he sent the link to us. Did you guys fill that link out? Did either one of you guys fill it out?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no. I totally did it. But my internet crashed and I lost it all.
You guys are the worst. I did it. But I actually do have a potato computer, and my computer did reset on me, so the tab's not open anymore. But you know this to be factually true, Brad. You know that I operate on a potato. I don't know if you know this to be factually true, Sean, but you probably circumstantially guessed. But Jimmy kind of hopped in here, and he gave us his top four. So he thinks City's going to win the league. He thinks Liverpool's going to finish second, Chelsea third, Spurs fourth. And he thinks Liverpool, and he will ask him in response if he thinks that City are going to win out, and he responded that he thinks both City and Liverpool are going to win out. As of right now, he's spot on because Liverpool beat United and City beat Brighton today. So I don't necessarily see anything wrong. I think that was my top 4 as well at this point. So
I think that was all of us except Brad's.
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Brad's the only one that had Arsenal in there.
Will did ask separately if do I still have Spurs finishing 4th, or am I back on the bandwagon? I don't think I was ever off the bandwagon with my selection last week. I think I'm trying to be more realistic about Arsenal's potential. Like, honestly,
And we rib each other, but like I said, it was either 2 or 3 weeks ago on the pod. Like there's a difference between excuses and reasons. And the reasons that Arsenal would slip from 4th are the fact that you have your right, left, and best center defensive mid out. And your center defensive mid you have a world-class left back, and your center defensive mid happens to be one of the best in the world, like probably a top 10.
I agree.
Like,
I mean,
that's a reason.
Yeah, that's a reason.
That's a reason, not an excuse.
You know, I sit here today, and spoiler: Arsenal beat Chelsea today in a football game.
Yes, they did.
And I sit here and I think back at the fact that Arsenal just lost to Crystal Palace, Brighton, and Southampton. If Arsenal didn't lose 3 straight games to teams that they shouldn't have lost to, man, we would be having an entirely different. We'd be in 3rd right now. Like, we would be clear in 3rd right now.
Yeah.
Look at the table, Brad. Add 9 more points to Arsenal's total.
Yeah.
We'd be 3 points clear of you guys.
We have a game in hand.
Okay,
but
fine.
Yes.
But like it's an entirely.
You'd be 4 points, but yeah.
We'd be at 55.
You said 9.
We had 9 points. Oh, you're right.
16.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I can't.
7 plus 9 is 16.
Yeah.
So just add 16.
I added only 8 points to our total because anyway. But yeah, so so I just sit here and I'm like, I think about these things and I'm like, man, like how different it would be. But it's not. It is what it is at this point. So I don't think I ever fell off. I'm always on the Arsenal bandwagon. I will never not be on the Arsenal bandwagon. But I'm trying to moderate my expectations or moderate my potential disappointment, I guess, is what I'm trying to do.
Could you also imagine the conversation we'd be having on this here podcast on Al Gore's internet if Arsenal were 4 points clear of 4th, and Chelsea are fending off Tottenham, who are 5 points back for 4th? Can you imagine how different the conversation would be? Of like Tottenham at this point have no chance of reaching 4th.
Oh man, I think
I'm already relegating my intentions to win Europa, or Spurropa, as my friend Andrew likes to call it.
Yeah, that would be something else, but it's not, and we still have a top 4 race on, and I think Brad.
Is there more of a fitting moniker than Spurropa?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I like it a lot.
Of how much time we spend in Europa.
Yeah, I do like it. I think it's very.
Even when we make Champions League, we usually make Spurropa because we finish 3rd.
Do you guys normally drop down? Like, has that happened a lot to you guys?
It was a good run of about like
the first few years getting into the Champions League before the final.
It was a solid run. It was a solid run of not making it to knockout. And then the first year we made knockout, lost to Dortmund in the round of 16. And then I think we got knocked back down 3rd again to Spurropa. And then the next year, I think, if I remember, went to the finals. Yeah.
Got it.
It was something along those lines.
Yeah. Jimmy had some other comments. So this is in relation to the FA Cup. With
a long run of finishing 5th, by the way. Sorry.
Oh yeah. So spoiler: Liverpool beat Man City in the first semifinal of the FA Cup, and I guess we'll just get this out of the way. Chelsea beat Crystal Palace. So the FA Cup final is Liverpool versus Chelsea. And so Jimmy's comment is about the FA Cup. He said, last time Liverpool made an FA Cup final was the same year that we last won the League Cup. And yes, that final we played against in the FA Cup was against Chelsea. We did not win the FA Cup. I would probably agree with the North Carolina Stars on this one. Chelsea likely recolors London back to blue. Um, hashtag it's in the stars. I think that's an interesting thing because I'm pretty sure that London is whatever color Brighton are wearing, but that's just me. Um,
You got a comment on that later. Reading down the comments, we haven't gotten to all of them.
yeah,
I'll just give some foreshadowing to the folks still listening. Uh, Clearly, I haven't done enough trolling, so I got something for some colors later.
Oh, for
Oh
real?
yeah. Oh, you
Oh
got some
yeah,
colors.
oh yeah. I got something.
Well, you just want to get into it? Like, what are
Yeah.
we doing it?
Well, that would be point 2 of my Brighton game
Oh, okay. So
bullshit.
you want to do that? Okay, at the bright. I got you.
I got it. All right,
I'll
all
follow.
right. Point 2.
I'll
Point
follow.
number 2. I got it.
Um, Brad, what do you think? You think you feel confident about the FA Cup final?
Yeah.
Are
Chelsea always gets a trophy,
Chelsea always gets a trophy. Always.
except for Frank's year.
Yeah, I mean, you guys didn't get a trophy
Yeah,
that year.
but well, we got fourth, and fourth was we took the Arsenal trophy home. So Frank still got a trophy.
I love it. I love that that rationale that we always get a trophy. Oh, except for that one time where we didn't get a trophy, but we'll use this thing that we used to make fun of the most successful manager in our city that's ever managed a club in our city used to get
Oh
made
yeah.
fun of about, and we'll call that a trophy.
Yeah. Yep. Because he's got lots and lots of European trophies.
No,
Brad, you wouldn't know about Arsenal level of success because you've never let a manager stay longer than 2-3 years.
it's true. It's true.
But that's because the club succeeded. It wasn't all on the manager
Hey,
holding everything together.
do you have any? My cat is playing with a golf ball. Excuse me. Do you guys have any golden Premier League trophies in your trophy cabinet? I'm just wondering.
Oh,
Oh, okay,
I mean,
cool.
wow.
Just wondering. I was just curious.
Brad,
Going
I-
so far back in history. I love
Brad,
it.
I'm not sure what that is. Is that when you win the league and don't lose a game?
I don't know, Sean. I don't know. I mean, I have a couple of Premier League trophies. I don't know. Have you seen one of those trophies yet?
I saw one on TV. I'm just curious what a golden one is.
There it is. You guys see that golf ball? It's right there. The cat's just out here trolling me.
That's all right.
He's here
That's
messing
all right.
with you.
That's all right.
Oh, sorry. I got really sidetracked there.
Anyways, the golden one. So I don't even know where we are.
Jimmy,
We were
No, I mean,
we were
it
bullshitting.
is written in the stars. Chelsea is winning the FA Cup. That's my prediction.
I disagree. I'm all in on the Liverpool quadruple. Let's go.
I gotta start picking. I gotta start picking fights here. So I'm taking this next Jimmy content.
Go for it. Yeah, read it.
All right. So Jimmy says day off here and there. Broadcasters still make the same amount of money if they move the game a day. False. There also could be more time slots on a given day. For instance, games are really only played during night games are really only played during the week. Not true. Why not all? What?
What do you mean?
It's not true. What do you think the 2:30 time slot is for us? It's the night game over there.
Yeah, that's in the weekend though. The last game on a Saturday or Sunday is what he's saying is at 12:30 on Saturday, which is a 5:30 kickoff in England, or a 11:30, which is a 4:30 kickoff on Sunday.
He says, for instance, night games are really only played during the week. Why not play Saturday and Sunday night games? They do. It's the 2:30 time slot.
When do they play
How often
2:30
are
on
those-
the weekend?
Are you sure?
I
feel like that's a regular time slot.
They have.
I feel like you're wrong.
They have in the past snuck in a 2:30, like a 7:30 start in England or an 8 o'clock start in England, But on the weekends, it's very, very rare to see a game start after 12:30, like our time, 12:30 our time. Generally,
we're talking Eastern Coast time, by the way.
So generally, the last game in the Premier League slate starts at 12:30 on Saturdays and 11:30 on Sundays, right?
I just feel like there's a lot more 2:30.
It's incredibly rare.
I've seen one over the next 8 weeks.
You see one over the next 8 weeks. Okay, yeah, it's very
all right, fair. So if Tottenham play Wednesday night game, move their Saturday game to Sunday morning, and push the Sunday morning Watford Brighton game to Sunday night. Something like this would probably work. There is almost always a Sunday game played between teams not playing midweek.
Yeah.
All right, let me tackle this.
Tackle it.
Let's
Wrong.
go.
Wrong.
Ooh.
I'm done. He's out.
Here's why. Just a little inside TV stuff. Because I'm in it. I'm in your TV right now. No, they can't do that because those games are slotted for tactically. Those the individual games are sold are sold on an individual basis, other than like broad sponsorships that are, let's say there's a Heineken sponsorship and all of like Heineken sponsors. I'm just making stuff up. I don't know who their broad sponsorships are, but they have commercials that go through all of their games, whatever. Um, like those, you can that sponsorship goes no matter what time the slot is. But like local advertisements and specific places, they sell the game based on this. This game is uh, Arsenal, Chelsea, prime time. This is everybody's going to be home from work, game time stuff. So that's the weekday stuff. So if you sell that on like a nighttime on a weekday, you got to be committed to that time slot. So I agree that you may be able to move like a morning game to an afternoon game or something like that. But whatever, if you have a night game on the weekend, you can't switch that out because you've already committed that to being your primetime game.
I think what Jimmy's point is, you're talking more from like a
It's a sponsorship. It's money.
Now, and I would point out that
That's why the broadcasters won't do that.
so we are looking at this from an American standpoint. We don't necessarily know how like TV broadcasting and advertisements
right.
being done in England. So
I don't know how it's done over there.
And to be completely fair, the broadcasting schedule is set by BT Sports, Sky, it's set by the English broadcasters. That's who said it. So we don't necessarily know how their things are. I think the only point Jimmy's making is that you could easily have an afternoon game, like a primetime evening game on Saturday or Sunday. And I kind of question why they don't, because like that's such a thing in American sports. Saturday night, Sunday night, like Saturday night in the fall is college football. The biggest college
All day.
The biggest college football game of the week is generally played Saturday night. Then you got generally speaking, the biggest NFL football game is played on Sunday night.
They put a flex schedule into it to ensure it.
Exactly.
Sure.
So why couldn't you open up another broadcasting slot at for that 2:45 3 o'clock p.m. our time kickoff, which is a nighttime game, and you have Sunday night football. They added in Monday night football in English soccer, in English football, and they call it Monday night football as well. So why not have Sunday night football? I don't. It has to be a cultural thing, right? That they just don't do. Maybe it's cricket. Maybe cricket plays then, or rugby, or something like that. I don't know.
Joel, we want your take on this because, like, I agree. Like, I don't see why the Premier League would not follow the NFL on this.
Yeah, it seems
Like, why not take over Sunday? Why not? And you can take over Saturday too for the TV wise. But that might be when like the local games are played. I know there's certain time slots that that aren't played. So like maybe Saturday night is when your local League 17 side plays, and to not kill off those teams in the bottom of the pyramid.
okay.
That may be why these time slots are kind of like more
Reserved.
rotten stone.
So like Saturday night,
Yeah.
Sunday night are reserved for your like local, like lower division teams, and they don't want everyone sitting at home watching Premier League football when they could be going out and supporting their local.
And again, that's like complete BS on my side. I have no idea if that's true or not. Joel, we're
good
gonna rely on
supposition.
you on this one. So like why would they not want that extra time? Like I don't see why you would not want to be on when people are at home. But I don't know if people are at home because it's England. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I think that there's certainly things that could be done to alleviate the broadcasting issue and like the broadcasting congestion.
Could be a you guys think it might have a religious angle? England.
That'd be in the morning though.
I doubt it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well, they don't play first thing in the morning anyway. They do here, but
when do Anglicans go to church? I don't
I don't
have
know.
no idea. Have no idea.
Joel, we need you back on here for this culture stuff.
Just figure
Because we have no idea.
Sunday feels like there's never a 3 o'clock game. That's why I said it. But if there was a 3 o'clock game, it's Saturday.
Yeah.
That might be tea time. Don't forget tea time. Not like golf tea.
We need to stop.
Not like golf tea, but like
we need to stop.
with the pinky.
Yeah,
Drinking tea.
I was just throwing spitballs. I had no idea.
That's all we were doing.
Now Brett's.
All right, what does Will got to say?
So Will came in. And so I don't remember if we had this conversation about difficult places.
We said we were going to save we're going to save it for the summer is what we said.
Okay. But Will's comment is, I think that the difficult places to play thing is pretty overblown. I think there's a positive effect on both teams when the crowd is loud and into the game. The effect is probably much greater for the home team. So in that sense, it is a disadvantage for the visitors. But I don't think maybe the visitors are going to play worse than they would in an empty stadium. An exception to this would be a situation like the NFL where the fans can create non-symmetrical noise issues where they're loud when communication is important for one team more than the other. I've played some basketball games in venues that seemed like they were on the verge of rioting, and I've never felt like it negatively impacted my play. I think a football, American football is so different than European football that like the non-symmetrical sound things. Okay.
Yeah.
The
more important question is, and you're going to know this being his brother.
Yeah.
What venue was he playing at?
Where
they were on the verge of rioting, where William is on the court playing basketball.
I know exactly where it is because I too have played basketball in that venue. It's the Gum Springs Recreational Center in Northern Virginia. Culturally, if you know a lot about basketball, there's a great movie called White Man Can't Jump. It's about basketball. It's about a white dude playing basketball. And he plays.
I am intrigued, but I needed to know this answer before I got the rest of the conversation in.
I think it was more just like, a team of a bunch of white dudes going down and playing in a predominantly black area, and this community center like fills up for these games, right? Like and like people who aren't even associated with the teams come out and watch these games. It's like travel basketball up in Northern Virginia. And I would imagine that it mostly stemmed from the fact that you had a bunch of white dudes coming down to a predominantly black area and just dominating and being a very good basketball team and winning handily. And like just people got rowdy over it.
So I take it Will's a fairly good basketball player.
If we were, yes, he is. He is good. I mean, he's not like he doesn't play in the NBA, but he is a good basketball player. If we were, if Sean was gonna say my athletic talents are gonna carry me in a 1v1 basketball game, and my long arms are gonna help me block the shots and things like that.
I was just about to say I've got a challenge now out for Will.
You're gonna get smashed. I want to see this.
Do it.
Please. So right after I save all these penalty kicks, we're heading to the local recreational gym.
We're going to the court. Let's go.
And I'm pulling my fadeaway out.
Bro,
you're not getting the ball.
It would be dirty. It would not be pretty. It would not be pretty.
I told you I had to torch this one. The comments are mundane. They're boring this time. I got to spice this shit back up. Well, meet me at half court. We're going.
All right. That's where we're leaving it. I'm glad I almost skipped that comment because I was
I know. And look at me. I found it for you.
Man. Well, no, I didn't know it was there when you started copying and pasting, and then you did whatever ridiculous thing you did on the run.
I just copied and pasted without trying to type it over.
Hey, Brad, let me tell you something. It was
amazing.
Control Shift V. Try it next time instead of just Control V. Control Shift V.
That's extra buttons. I don't do that.
Premier League football, match week 32. Let's talk about what happened. So Saturday morning, Tottenham hosting Brighton. Brighton making another trip up to North London. Brighton and Hove Albion win 1-0. Big victory at the Hotspur Stadium. Manchester United hosting Norwich. Manchester United win 3-2. That was the Cristiano
Barely.
Ronaldo hat trick game. Southampton and Arsenal play. Arsenal up to Southampton. Southampton get the victory, 1-0. That made it 3 defeats in a row for Arsenal. Watford hosting Brentford. Brentford get the win 2-1. Newcastle hosting Leicester. Newcastle win 2-1. West Ham hosting Burnley. That game ended in a 1-1 draw. That was all of the weekend games because, of course, we did have the FA Cup semifinals that included 4 Premier League teams. So those games needed to be postponed. But then on Tuesday, we had a makeup game from earlier in the season. Liverpool were hosting Manchester United at Anfield, and that I don't know if this was the most predictable scoreline of the season, but
The next one is
Liverpool win 4-0. Brad, why don't you tell me what the next scoreline is?
Yeah, so Chelsea versus Arsenal. Arsenal's lost 3 games in a row. So Charity FC comes through and gets them the 3 points, putting them back into this top 4 race, making the North London Derby super, super spicy.
Yeah,
Arsenal wins 2-4.
Oh,
The last minute penalty by Saka.
that was a good. It
The
was,
score.
it was good penalty he took.
I clearly didn't watch the game, but I think I said this before the game started that that Chelsea was losing this one.
Well,
It felt that way.
we both said our teams were losing because I was certain that Arsenal were losing 3-0. Everton we're hosting Leicester today. Leicester were up 1-0 for a very long time, but Everton do secure a 1-1 draw. It's actually very important for Everton. Now they're 4 points above Burnley for the drop. So pretty big for them. Newcastle hosting Palace. Newcastle get the victory 1-0, and then in Manchester, Manchester City were hosting Brighton. Game went 0-0 to halftime, and City have a flurry of goals. They win the game 3-0 in the second half. And that brings us to where we are in the league table. So let's take a look at this. City are still in first. Liverpool are still in second. 1 point separate them. Same number of games played. Chelsea still in third. Spurs and Arsenal are tied in terms of points for fourth. Tottenham have a 10 goal, 8 goal difference. So they are currently the sole holders of fourth position. United are in sixth on 54 points, though a game more played than both Arsenal and Tottenham. So things are looking a little dire for Manchester United for fourth position. Seventh,
Look at a little dire.
yeah, Eric Dyer.
He's the reason y'all took that L.
They could probably use a little Eric Dye over there since the fridge is not panning out.
Yo, would you swap Eric Dyer for Harry Maguire? Don't answer it. Think about it, and I'm gonna come back to that. In seventh is West Ham United. Wolves are in eighth. Leicester are in ninth. Brighton and Hove Albion are up to 10th. Newcastle are up to 11th. Brentford are up to 12th. Southampton are up to 13th. Palace are down to 14th. Villa are down to 15th. Staying strong in 16th is Leeds. They appear to be safe. Everton, they are in 17th on 29 points. Burnley are in 18th on 25 points. Watford are in 19th on 22 points. Norwich City are in 20th on 21 points. Gentlemen, are we confident that we can relegate both Norwich City and Watford?
Yes.
Sean,
I will give it 99%, 98% odds they are relegated.
Sean, do you agree? Just
Yeah.
Watford.
Just Norwich and Watford.
I had to do some math.
Okay, he
I
did
had to
some
do some math.
quick maths.
Oh.
But yeah,
Yeah, they're out of here.
yeah, they're yeeted and deleted. I think.
So is Everton.
So it's Everton. I'm actually here for it. Everton. They have such a tough schedule coming up. But that's how the league table shakes out. Kind of the only two really, really interesting things that are going on is the fight for 17th between Burnley and Everton, and the fight for fourth between Arsenal and Tottenham. Of course, like the Europa League spots and the Conference League spots are up for grabs, but it kind of seems like, yeah, Wolves could catch West Ham and West Ham could fall out, but whichever of Arsenal or Tottenham don't finish in fourth are going to finish fifth. United are probably going to finish sixth, I would imagine, unless they just absolutely capitulate.
I don't know the equations, but what I'm looking at the Google standings have blue for the top four,
Yes.
Yes, that's
orange
changed.
orange for Arsenal, and green for United, and no other.
Okay. Let me break this down for you.
So it's that. So
FA
I don't know. I don't know the equations of who gets into what.
So
Either they're either not accounting for the play-in game or they're not accounting for the conference league.
So legally, Chelsea could finish in 5th, right? And out of the Champions League. It actually doesn't matter. So the FA Cup winner gets a Europa League spot. And then does the League Cup now get a Conference League spot? But since Liverpool,
Yes, I think that's what we said.
since Liverpool won that, then 7th would get it.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think it doesn't matter. I think 5th and 6th are going to be Europa League, and 7th is going to be Conference League because there's not Liverpool won the League Cup, and either Chelsea or Liverpool will win the FA Cup, and they are both. Liverpool's already qualified for the Champions League for next year, based on league position, and Chelsea are most assuredly going to qualify for the Champions League based on league position.
So
it
basically,
won't-
have
it
to
won't
lose
matter.
out.
But
Essentially, have to lose out.
but even if Chelsea lost out, finished 5th, I mean, I guess they probably could finish 6th mathematically. Of course they could. They could probably finish 7th. So, but
They could finish. They could finish out of any of them. Now that
Yeah,
I'm looking at it,
they could. They could.
If they lost out and everybody around them won out.
Yeah. Which
Correct.
Isn't
Sure.
necessarily possible, but because Arsenal, clearly Tottenham and Arsenal play each other. Manchester United and Arsenal play each other.
We're both only 5 points off of them, and if
Yeah.
they drop below that, Arsenal's or Manchester City or United is only 3 points off of that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then West Ham's only 2 points off of that. Like, you guys
Yeah,
can keep
yeah,
going
like-
down and make these excuses.
It seems
No,
it seems like
it's not excuses. It's hypothetical. If they have 7 games left to play. If they left 21 points out there,
Correct.
and if the rest of the teams around them won those points,
Yeah.
it is mathematically possible.
Correct.
Not likely at all.
Correct.
Unfathomable,
Dude, it would
but
be-
it's possible.
Wouldn't that be the greatest Chelsea collapse of all time, right, Sean? Isn't that what you've been
That's
calling
what
for?
that's what Sean did call
on
for.
the sheets of integrity, I have Chelsea meltdown year
Written down. In
written
stone.
in the stars.
Written in stone. I
In
write
the
in the stars.
stars.
You
In the
gotta
stars.
win trophies. You gotta win trophies to write in the stars. You can write in stone though.
Mufasa didn't write no trophies.
Dang,
Yo,
man! You said that. You
you're
said
right,
you
you're
said.
right, Sean.
I'm sorry you couldn't win that one race.
Oh, wow, Brad, that's dirty, bro.
That was mean. I'm
That's-
sorry.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Which
Those
All right, hey,
which
kids
Premier League
listen to
game
this
are we gonna-
podcast.
Probably none. It's probably better for them not to. Which Premier League game do you guys want to talk about for Match Week 32? Where should we start?
I got it.
Okay,
I
Sean,
got it.
Sean, lead us off.
Start off the top.
Tottenham.
Here we
Brighton.
go. Here's my notes from the Tottenham Brighton game.
I'll be curious to see these.
All right. Number 1. I'm not panicked, especially since Arsenal won on the weekend or lost on the weekend. Sorry. I typed this before today's game.
So he was both not panicked because we lost to Southampton, and he knew we were playing Chelsea on Wednesday.
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah. Not panicked.
Not panicked.
Here's the big one. Here's where I got a problem with colors and the FA. Who the fuck approved lily white versus light green? I spent half the game trying to figure out who the fuck had the ball. And I have a 55-inch TV.
How far away
Like-
from your TV are you, though?
I know
Not
somebody that
really.
can get you a bigger one. I know somebody here that can
Not
help you
really.
pick out a bigger one.
Well, Brad, it's not
That-
not necessarily a bigger one. He needs one
Or
that has
did
a better
you- one.
contrast between.
Yeah,
the
we
colors.
can get you
Did
some.
you-
There's OLED. There's some new
No.
QLED. There's some new technologies out
It
there.
was such a light green.
You're crazy. I forget. You wear glasses. You can't see. I'm sorry. I did not
It
mean
was-
that.
It wasn't even lime. It was like Easter green.
It's a good color. It was
It was like
Easter.
sea green.
No, lighter
Isn't-
than sea green.
Isn't Brighton Hove like on the coast? I don't know. I might have just done Sean geography.
Right,
Oh, I did.
right,
They're on
Look
the
at
south,
that.
they're on the
Right,
south coast.
right.
Oh,
Yeah, they're on the
that's
south
bad
coast.
geography. I'm right.
I think they're on the south coast.
No, it was ridiculous. They, I discerned about probably the 35th to 40th minute. Oh, I can just figure this out because Tottenham were wearing dark blue pants. So,
Oh,
so then I spent prepare yourselves. I spent the rest of the time just looking at the pants to figure out who was who.
I bet you were looking at the pants, Sean.
wow,
Exactly.
wow, Sean. Brittany
Uh,
put that out to you for you.
yes. So my my third one is Romero's probably should have got a red, probably about the 85th.
Yo, hold on. Didn't Kulisevsky throw an elbow at someone's face?
Also
Yes.
probably should have been a red.
Yeah. I
Uh,
think I watched most of that. Oh, I did watch part of that game because it was before soccer, before Patrick's soccer class. Which, funnily, so me and my wife, like we like rushed the boys out of the house so we can get to my kid's soccer class. It was canceled because it was the day before Easter, and we forgot to check our email.
Wow.
So could have watched the whole game. Funny story. But yeah, I turned the game on. And it's like 15 or 20 minutes into the game, and Kulisevsky's out here throwing elbows at people's face. And I'm like, I saw that, and how is this guy not? How is that not a red card?
it probably should have been.
Like
I,
he didn't hit him, right? He didn't land his elbow, but he very obviously threw an elbow at whatever the guy with the hair's face.
Yeah.
Like he very obviously threw an elbow, and I'm like, if that's again, I filter everything through if that's Granit Xhaka. If that's Granit Xhaka, he's in chains. He's getting hauled away. He's going to jail.
I think his two saving graces were he's new to the league and they don't have a book on him, and his other one was that he didn't connect.
It's even more of the you get refed on perception. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was shocking to me.
Well, also Xhaka earned that perception.
all right, let's get to 4 and 5 because I want to see if you have this one in there.
Probably shouldn't have got a red, but so should one of their players, and they only got that was also on a yellow, so not going to make us think about that. So Romero was on a yellow,
Mhm.
and it should have been a second yellow, not a red.
Yeah.
It should have been a second yellow, but also one of their players should have got a second. And this happened before the Romero thing. Should have been the Romero thing should have been a yellow, but it wasn't. So the ref was calling it even. So I'll take it.
It equaled out. Is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Also, my fourth one was Danny Welbeck.
Oh, you texted
Brighton
this
has
to us.
this?
You texted.
Yes.
Okay, I remember this. Yeah, Danny Welbeck.
Yeah, he also got the goal for them against Chelsea.
He left Arsenal.
Danny Welbeck is still playing.
Yeah, he left Arsenal and signed with Brighton.
And had a better
I
game than Kane.
me who hosts a soccer podcast had no idea Danny Welbeck's still trotting around the EPL leagues.
No, he's not.
All
that
right.
old.
Anyways,
He's not that old.
I know he's not that old. I just thought he crapped out with all the injuries. And then 5 is on to the next game.
Um,
And then finally, go ahead.
you go ahead, finish your points.
Finally, I think Conte's goal is to make sure that this isn't a Tottenham special, which is where we spiral down the stretch with even an ounce of stress gets put on our games. That's a tradition like none other, like the Masters.
Yeah, I think I called this loss too. But second, I thought your 5th point was going to be how Tottenham had 5 shots and not a single one on target.
Yeah, that's a tough one to defend.
Especially
And,
at home against Brighton.
Right. And speaking of tough to defend, Dyer's ankles, I think, are still at White Hart Lane. Homie got ripped for that goal.
Bad. Oh yeah, he got took. I meant to put that in the notes too. He got shook.
And I think Romero was out of position. Oh no, it was a tip off of Romero.
It was a tip. Romero was
Pearson came in.
jostling for the ball, so that's not on Romero.
Yep.
It was one of those situations where Romero's just got his leg in it, and he just kind of pressured it out, and it shot out from underneath of him.
I mean, the
Yep,
thing about
just-
it as a defender, like if you get a touch to the ball, right, and it deflects into your goal, it's just like, oh man, that stinks. But if you get a touch to the ball and it deflects out of bounds, or you block the shot, it's good. So like you have to try and deflect the ball, regardless if it goes in or not.
So the Romero situation is there's a 1-2 ticky tack situation.
Okay.
Romero goes out. He's defending it face to face. It gets caught
the
up
ball.
gets caught up under the guy's feet. And then it kind of bounces out and comes back. So Romero is challenging foot to foot, ball in the middle.
Okay.
And he's got his leg in it like out sideways, and they're both scrapping, and then it squirts out from underneath of him.
Got it.
And he tries to get it, but he can't. And the guy Troussard picks it up.
Got it.
So Romero's out of the play regardless. Dyer's the one that fucked it up. He should have been more in a better position to and it's coming in a way that's coming like it's not going to make sense.
Yeah.
But he's coming in a way
to the 6-yard box at the corner. And he
so
does
Dyer's like
to the middle.
He's like floating out to meet the ball, but the guy just yanks it with his right foot back to the goal line, and Dyer's already way out of position at that point. There's nothing he can do. It's just Troussard and Lloris at that point.
Okay.
Yeah, Dyer left the back post wide open. Like he did not cut off any angle. He was on.
Dyer is trying to block the shot that he's anticipating.
One time.
And Troussard just drags the ball back. Got it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, he's anticipating a one time, and it didn't happen.
Y'all's best player, funny enough, was Højbjerg after we kind of dunked on him last week. Højbjerg had a great game. Højbjerg had a great cross. I did. I dunked on Højbjerg. I said Højbjerg doesn't start for another top 6 side.
Oh, okay.
Those are words I said. That spin move and then into that cross where nobody got to the end of it felt terrible. Kulusevski had his young kid. I'm not here to play. Just messing up. I messed up that name terrible, didn't I?
Butchered it.
I butchered it worse than he butchered this game.
The announcers
didn't do anything. They
weren't getting balls up front. I'm not blaming Kane and Son. They barely got touches.
But Kane was right. I think Kulusevski had the fewest touches. Harry Kane had 21 touches, but he drops back to midfield. They couldn't get the average position. There was only one Tottenham player that was in the Brighton half, where there was 2 players for Brighton that their average position was in the Brighton half. It was
my final takeaway is that Graham Potter listens to the podcast, because I shit on him preseason. We do not want Graham Potter as our manager, and he put a defensive masterclass on Tottenham.
Bro, I said that Graham Potter was finally going to get relegated, so egg on my face.
Yeah,
he was mad because we struggled to get it out of our half.
Terrible. It was bad.
I watched all 90 minutes. We could anytime we crossed midfield, Brighton took the ball back.
Wow.
Yep.
It was bad.
This game should not have been 1-0. This game probably could have been 2 or 3-0. And there's
could have been 7-0. Could have been 7-0. If they had any finishers whatsoever, it was 7-0.
So we just talked about your boy Eric Dyer. Regarding my question earlier,
bring it on.
Would you swap Eric Dyer for Harry Maguire?
Let me see his response. Hold on just a second. I just texted my good buddy Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he said, famous scientist, he said that there hasn't been a number created to quantify the amount of fuck knows that I would do.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll leave it at that.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not trading the fridge for Eric Dyer. At least Eric Dyer is still a fucking Neanderthal, but at least he can pass.
I wonder.
Comments. We're gonna get to the game, but the comments from the Manchester United fans it was apparently and painfully obvious that De Gea would rather kick the ball on the roof of Old Trafford than pass it to Harry Maguire.
I saw that. He looks at Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire's wide open to play the ball to, and running up the field. He kicked it out of bounds. That literally happened, and that was my favorite moment.
Was this against Liverpool?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes, in the Liverpool game, and he will not pass it to the captain, Harry Maguire.
Jota, Mane were nowhere near. The ball was Salah was up pressing the guy that between De Gea, there was one Man United player closer to De Gea, but Salah was pressing, and De Gea just kicked the ball out of bounds. Like, not even like up the field out of bounds,
He
but
yeeted
like
it.
straight across. No. Just like, oh, there's the line. I'm kicking it over there. Not up the field. Make y'all restart. No, we're just gonna kick it over here.
I mean, I'm never gonna begrudge a goalkeeper for getting rid of the ball.
There was no pressure on him though. Like he had time to do whatever he wanted to do, and he decided kicking it out was better than passing to Maguire.
I guess let's just talk about this Liverpool United game, because it is like one of the biggest rivalries in English football, and like there couldn't be a more apt description of where these two clubs are right now than the scoreline. Right?
Before we get into roasting, could we say how beautiful the moment was in the 7th minute?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes,
So
that was
I don't know if you
amazing.
want to talk. I don't know if you want
Yeah.
to talk about that, Jay.
So some context. Cristiano Ronaldo and his partner were expecting twins to be born relatively soon. Came to light, I think, end of last week, Thursday or Friday.
No, this week he
Well,
played in the Norwich game.
It was
okay,
it was
okay.
earlier.
So
It was
it
like
was like
Monday or so.
Sunday night or Monday.
Yeah.
I'm confused at the time.
Yeah.
That one of those two children passed away. So his partner was expecting twins, and the little boy passed away in childbirth or soon thereafter or stillbirth.
Yeah.
There's no context. We're not sure. But
Newborn. Yeah.
But his sister survived and is alive, and so that's a terrible loss.
Yeah. Absolutely.
100%.
So
Got to be heartbreaking for his wife. I'm assuming.
His partner.
It's his girlfriend.
Partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I would not.
Got to be heartbreaking for her.
I would not be able to function. So like I have two very healthy young boys. But my son, like my second son, when he came out, he was like gray because the umbilical cord was wrapped around his neck. And like that is still like traumatic to me to this day. So like I could only imagine what they're going through. So clearly like and so in the 7th minute of the Liverpool United game, I think that everybody in the stand gave him a standing ovation.
Yeah, and
clap for
and
Ronaldo.
And
they
both
saying you will
sides.
never walk alone for Ronaldo. So like,
Okay.
Liverpool fans showed out.
Which gave me a little bit of chills because you'll never walk alone
Yeah.
for a twin that didn't have their twin come out. That's extra special and heart pulling.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a classier fan base than Liverpool Football Club, but they're certainly up there. You don't really ever hear about any controversies with Liverpool fans. They're not going to, Champions League matches and tearing up cities. They're not, there's not like racist chants. There's not like anti-Semitic chants or things like that. Like the Liverpool fans are
They chant about the game.
probably by and large some of the best football fans in the world. So hats off to them. Well done. But we need to talk about the football match because it was
Sure. I just want to get that out of the way.
It couldn't like this. The result of this match couldn't better encapsulate the different places that these clubs are in right now. So Liverpool clearly win the game 4-0, but it was such a dominant 4-0 that Liverpool almost seemed like after 60 minutes or so that they like just didn't need to try anymore. Like that the game was so well dusted that there was no chance that Manchester United were even going to mount any type of resistance or comeback. Thiago had a phenomenal game. He could do whatever he wanted on the ball. Go for it, Brad.
I think Paul Scholes was like crying after the game of how bad United played. But here's the thing, right? To even like to go the game before this, where they played Norwich, which we've all just said are relegated.
Gonna get relegated.
Like they're done. Fulham's coming up. Norwich is going down. All is right in football world. They should not have won that game. If Ronaldo is not there, poaching goals and that awesome free kick, that's a draw or a loss for United against Norwich. 100% of the time.
Yeah.
Against Norwich. There was no way they were going to do anything against Liverpool.
Yeah.
And Klopp just mastered it. Like, oh my, I didn't watch the game. I didn't have to. I was at work, but like I knew I wouldn't have to watch this game because it was going to be murder.
Yeah, I watched the latter half of it, I believe. I mean, I know I watched the latter half. I don't remember when
they were just kicking the ball around.
But like Harry Maguire was just pulled out of position so many times. Manchester United do a very, very bad job of staying compact. Like they allow themselves to get dragged out of position so frequently. Whether it's
Got it.
Lindelof, whether it's Shaw, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Matip, like it doesn't matter. They just refuse to stay in like a low block and just defend.
I got it.
What's up?
I don't know who Maguire's partner was at Leicester, but Harry Maguire is the Danny Drinkwater of defenses. United got tricked into spending a lot of money, like Chelsea did, because for Chelsea's benefit, that we bought his partner. I don't know if
What
you've
did
heard of him,
what did
N'Golo
Morgan?
Kanté,
Wes Morgan?
Yeah, it might have been Wes
which
Morgan.
makes sense to me because
Jam-
Wes
Jama-
Morgan like probably wasn't an awesome defender. Like I
Jamaican? No, Jamaican. No, he's Jamaican legend.
Okay, right, but if you he would not be on a top 20 list of defenders in the Premier League ever,
Probably not ever. No, if you're talking all time, no.
or top 50 or top like I don't think he's in that list, right? I don't think we're talking. Is he a
Oh,
Leicester legend?
he's pretty good
Probably.
defender.
Is he a Leicester legend? 100%. Right.
Won a Premier League.
Right, but I don't think you put him in the top 50 list. Anyways, but he can command a defensive line and keep Maguire in line.
Yeah.
I think they got Danny Drinkwatered. We just bought N'Golo Kanté. We bought both. We're like, look, we don't know which one it is. We're gonna buy both of y'all, and we'll see which one it really is that did this. Because I think we spent almost the same on both.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
But that makes so much sense because like you said, Maguire, Shaw, Wan-Bissaka all cannot hold a line.
Lindelof, like they just are. They're
Yeah,
not good
Bailey. They
Yeah.
need Varane to actually have game time with these guys to see if he can be the one to keep them in line.
Which is it's insane that we're even saying this about Harry Maguire, who's the England captain. Like you would expect him to just like do the basics. Like
Well,
just
and
defend.
maybe this is why he plays so good with England is that he has John Stones. John Stones is very good at staying
But
in position and
he's
keeping them
also-
in position.
but like
I'm just thinking out loud here because like that's our problem.
I watch Maguire play for Manchester United, and like he just gets like he'll like step up randomly, like he'll like half-ass challenge the ball and just be entirely out of position and open up an amazing passing channel, and then the other team's in on goal, or he'll follow a runner and get dragged up to midfield, or not midfield, but he'll get like dragged out to the byline and open through ball. It just doesn't make sense. Like Manchester United are in such a struggling like state right now. They just need to just instead of trying to be intricate and have structure and like theories around how they want to play football, they should just play 4-4-2. Just play 4-4-2 for like the next 2 weeks and just like right the ship. Just like defend, pass the ball, and like just do the basics instead of trying to be intricate. That's all I'm.
Are you saying bring back Ole? Go out there and kick the ball.
I mean, I'm saying that they're clearly not in a better position now after having sacked Solskjaer than they are now. So like, I mean, hindsight is 2020, right? So
no, it's not because I don't think they're any better even if you kept Ole in.
But the thing is,
Ole at the wheel was great for our teams.
At that moment, you didn't know, right? So they get.
Sure.
I mean, honestly, I think Ralph Ragnick was kind of a questionable signing anyway because like, where was he? Was in like Russia or something like I don't know. He wasn't.
He wasn't even coaching. He was a director of football.
He was.
He was a director of football for Russia. Yeah.
It's just weird. I think it was like Lokomotiv Moscow. It's just weird. Anyway.
Yeah.
They just need to keep it really simple.
Hey, good on United getting him out though.
Ralph. Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ralph out of Russia.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
We found our Russian mole.
We have to talk about this.
My quick thoughts on that rivalry.
Yeah.
Is oh my how it has turned. And I've seen a lot about Liverpool fans, and it's not just retweeted from Sam Zeed, but a lot of fans were saying, hey, before y'all say, oh, this is the way it's going to be forever, just remember we had about 25 years of torture before we reached this point. And it got me my gears turning of how did they reach this point? And it was smart signings that led to the point that Liverpool only have to make one or two big additions each year. Like that now they're to the point where the team just needs maybe a backup for Salah because he's getting a little older, even though he's still producing.
Luis
Like,
Diaz. They've already signed him.
yeah, yeah, and maybe like a backup for Virgil when he needs a break every once in a while. Like they've reached the point that they've made the smart signings. They've signed uh, uh, Mane and Firmino and Salah and
Jota. They
Jordan Jota, and they now they're just adding the one piece that's going to keep it going.
They're doing the refresh now before everybody gets too old.
Before,
Too
yeah,
expensive.
So
Yeah.
the one thing I would say about
and they're
Liverpool,
doing it smartly.
what I would say about Liverpool is they might be the best football team in world football. It's entirely possible to say that they're the best club in world football. But they also have one of the best managers, like if not the best manager in world football. Like you could certainly make an argument for Jurgen Klopp. You can make an argument for Jurgen Klopp easily. He doesn't have the trophies like Pep does, but you look at their spending, it's vastly different. Liverpool has like averaged like there were 2 seasons, like they've averaged like 95 points or something like that over like the last some number of seasons. It's insane.
Him and Pep are like 1 point difference in the past like 4 years.
Exactly.
So yes, there's arguments to be made here for top managers. Yes.
I lost my train of thought.
They made two big splash buys, Allison and Van Dyke.
Yeah.
And they got both of them right, which is not easy, by the way.
Harry Maguire.
We all know
Kepa.
making that.
Nicholas Pepe.
Hey,
Kepa was in that same
we all
window
know
that Allison
making
bought.
that big splash and getting it right is not easy.
Yeah.
And they got two of them right that happened to be the core of their defense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess
so there's something to be said for that.
I guess my only point is like Liverpool's very good. Jurgen Klopp has been very vocal about the fact that he thinks he's going to be done managing Liverpool in 2024. So like is that going to be true? Will he stay longer? Things like that. Like if he stays longer, then I think then Liverpool continue to be a force. If Jurgen Klopp leaves, I think it would depend on who their next manager is, but like they certainly benefit from the fact they have a top manager, and they have arguably the best player in the world in Mo Salah, arguably the best center back in the world in Virgil van Dijk, and arguably the best goalkeeper in Allison. So I'm not trying to discount any of the things that you guys are saying because they've clearly been the football club has been run exceptionally well. But like this might be like the greatest like confluence of top people at Liverpool Football Club or a single football club in a long time.
But my B point to that point was that while that's simultaneously going on, the converse has been happening. Conversely to that at Manchester United. Manchester United have just been throwing money at names, hoping for the best.
Yeah, true.
And since Alex Ferguson retired, they've just been throwing money at names and hoping, and it's just not working.
It seems to me that Manchester United would have been really, really well served. Manchester United would not be in the same position they're in now if they had either stuck to Louis van Gaal and backed him up and supported him because he was very vocal about the fact that the squad was dysfunctional, or if they did the same for Jose Mourinho, because both of those managers were talking about how the squad was dysfunctional, how the culture of the club was dysfunctional, and it's going to take time to fix it. I think they're only now coming to that realization, and the question is going to be whether or not they give Ten Hag the time he needs to right the ship, because it's not going to be overnight.
Well, it actually might be faster because like I think like Ralph is saying there might be 9-10 new players needed for United. How many people are leaving this ship?
Sure.
Like not from selling, but like how many people are just like done with their like Pogba's not coming back.
A word on the street is that he already signed a contract at PSG is what I read today on Twitter.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that Manchester United let Paul Pogba walk without selling him not once but twice?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know.
My God.
The thing I would question though, Brad, is in the same sense that when Arsenal dropped out of the Champions League, it became very difficult for us to sign those top players, right? And so,
Yep.
I think Manchester United has more money now than Arsenal did back then, and they have more money than
Yes.
Arsenal have right now. So clearly, they can throw their money around a little bit easier. But are the
They are
the Glazers going to be willing to fund United in the same way that the Cronkies have funded Arsenal? If United take 5 years to get back into the Champions League, I don't
How
know.
much did they spend? How much did they spend this year?
United or Arsenal?
United, because
I have
it's
no idea.
Sancho was 72, Varane was 54.
Yeah, but they
Who
were
else did
playing
they
in the
bring
Champions
in?
League this year. It's
I'm
much
with you,
it's
but I
much
don't.
easier to sign those players for those prices if you're in the Champions League.
This
Cristiano,
Was
they
basically
bought
free.
Cristiano. Well,
Basically free.
I mean,
to
still
make
like
this
14, 20 mil, I think, wasn't it?
Maybe 15. Brett, what were you
Like
gonna
that.
say, Sean? You're gonna tie this up with a
to,
bow.
yeah, tie this up with a bow to bring it back to Formula One. We'll tie it up with a Formula One bow. Uh, what's been happening recently is the teams that have been in fourth to finish in the top half is big. It's big, and there's only 10 teams. So those 3, 4, 5 is a huge battle,
Yeah.
and it's been McLaren, Ferrari, and any number of guests for a while to finish in that top little bit because it's been Red Bull. It's been Red Bull, Mercedes forever.
Yeah.
Like probably since the OOs. Um, and so that's a big deal. And McLaren finished fourth, which was a big deal. And this year, Ferrari's engine happens to be better than Mercedes, and McLaren runs on a Mercedes engine. All the Mercedes, there's 4 teams that run on a Mercedes engine. They're all awful. Even Mercedes themselves. So the 2 that have money, who have been traditionally good, McLaren and Mercedes, they are adjusting better and their car is improving.
Yeah.
But the 2 that don't, Williams and Alfa Romeo,
Sounds about right.
I think. No, it's not Alfa Romeo. It's someone else, but I'm not going to take too much time on it. Are not because they don't have the money to pay the engineers to make the engine better. And McLaren and Mercedes do. And I think that's the situation that you're talking about is which one, McLaren or Mercedes, is willing to throw more money at it, Arsenal or United, because both of them have money. Which one's willing to throw more money at it to make it better, to make sure you stay in that spot you need to be to make the funding
But
possible?
it's pretty
Sure,
it's
but
pretty clear
United is,
United aren't going to finish fourth this year.
No,
and
they're not. There's no
they're
way.
also a commercial giant, though.
Yeah, that's the other
The
part we're leaving
Champions
out
League
with
money
United.
makes it easier. You're correct. Champions League money makes it easier. But like, if you were to put United's business ventures next to Arsenal's business ventures,
Certainly.
it's vastly different.
Agreed.
So like,
Granted.
yes, Champions League helps or hurts like how you can cook the books, but United is not hurting for that Champions League money.
Yeah, not as much as Arsenal were. Or
Will they
are.
need to be there in a year or two instead of like 3 or 4 years? Yes.
You don't really start
I know
feeling we're going to go long on this
Yeah.
because we do need to talk about Arsenal and Chelsea because that doesn't even happen. But
The no defense game.
Arsenal.
I'll just table this for a while. We need to. Sorry, we'll table this for another one. I just want to earmark it.
Yeah, end it.
Commercial enterprise of Liverpool versus United.
United's much higher.
United.
So I got
United's up there with Real. United is above Real and Barcelona. Like that's
So
But not
imagine
Manchester
if
City.
imagine if Klopp stayed till he was 70 something. Then like Fergie did. Imagine.
But still United. Because
Well,
United didn't make money off of Fergie. United made money off of the like when the Glazers came in and used debt and used like all these other things and all these other business deals.
United were
You don't
already
think
a commercial powerhouse before that, Brad. Anyway,
you don't think they were?
We'll talk about this.
You don't think they benefited from being good for 30 years?
Yes, Sean, they did. They certainly did. We need to talk about Arsenal and Chelsea. You didn't get to watch the game, Brad, because you were at work, right?
No, this was the no defense game though from my Twitter blowing up.
So I watched this game, watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I was very pessimistic about Arsenal's chances, both before the game and during the game. All of the things I was texting you were honest. They were true. Literally, Arsenal got 2 very, very, very fortunate goals to begin with. Incredibly fortunate goals.
I saw Tommy Tuchel's comment. I saw Tuchel's comments afterwards where like out of the 6 goals, Chelsea scored 5 of them. And you guys scored 1.
Yeah.
We gifted you guys 3, like 3 own goals, and we scored 2 goals.
That's essentially what he's saying.
Yeah.
So Chelsea were the dominant. Arsenal played very well. They played pretty good.
Capitalized on the chances.
We didn't play poorly. I think 2 years ago,
both defenses did,
or last year when we played you guys and beat you at Stamford Bridge, like that was a different story. But like when I was saying that like Chelsea looked like they were the more likely team to score, it was absolutely true the entire game. Arsenal did a good job of just like taking all of their opportunities and capitalizing on all of them. I think we had 4 shots on goal and we scored 4 goals. It's hard to do that.
Yeah, I'm with you, and we definitely did not have our like Lukaku and Werner should not have started this game. But like, when else are we going to rest this when we had Real, FA Cup semis,
Yeah,
Arsenal, West Ham, United?
You guys have a tough run, and certainly no one is begrudging you guys for rotating your team. But I would also say that when you're saying that Timo and Lukaku shouldn't play together, that's a 170 or 160 million pound attack force. So
we should have gone with 140, like Pulisic and Havertz.
Sure, but yeah, you can't really. Because I don't know.
Pulisic, Havertz, Mounts is our best 3 right now.
I say all this. Arsenal, the pundits were saying that Arsenal were the deserved winners. I'm not entirely sure. I think a draw might have been fair in that game. Maybe I'm being too pessimistic about it.
XG has you guys winning it was like 1.89 to 0.71.
Well, really, we blew our XG out of the water for this game, which is rare for us.
And so did we. We doubled ours too.
But I say all of this. Arsenal are about to get slapped by United on Saturday morning. You hear it here first. I'm putting it in stone on the podcast. United are gonna are going to beat the socks off of Arsenal. And I see you shaking your head. I'm not doing any kind of like reverse mind tricks or speaking it into existence kind of thing. I honestly think that Arsenal are going to make United look like they're something else.
Yeah, well,
it's just what I think's gonna happen.
Also, whoever the new owners are out of the 3 that submitted bids, pay Rudiger. Pay him all of the dollars. He was injured for this game. He had like a tweak or something, so he was not able to play. He deserves the money under Tommy. Pay the man his money.
It's true. He's very good. EPL this weekend. Burnley, Southampton on Thursday. That's tomorrow, to be fair. Arsenal United kick off the weekend Saturday morning. Leicester hosts Villa. City hosts Watford. Norwich hosts Newcastle. Brentford hosts Spurs. Again, you guys are playing Brentford again. Brighton and Southampton kick off Sunday morning. Burnley hosting Wolves. Chelsea hosting West Ham United. That's going to be a good game. We've got the Merseyside Derby on Sunday afternoon. And then on Monday, we've got Crystal Palace hosting Leeds. Gun to your head, Brad, what's the best game this weekend?
Chelsea West Ham. And hey, Sean, this is the 2:45 Eastern time kickoff is Liverpool Everton. Best game of the weekend is Chelsea West Ham.
Okay, got it. If I had to have a pick of the week, it's probably Norwich Newcastle, just because of how bad Norwich are.
Look, you can watch that game, and Brad wants to put a James pick of the week in here, and I will watch it, and I will probably live tweet it. Burnley, Southampton tomorrow.
That's a big timer.
Okay.
Because Everton are getting smacked. Can you pick up the 3 points? Can you pick up the 3 points to make it a 1-point gap again? This is a big one for Burnley.
Burnley's got a tough stretch here. They've got Southampton and then
Wolves. It's Burnley Wolves
on the weekend, but they play tomorrow. Is what Brad
said.
They
play Southampton
tomorrow.
They play tomorrow.
So they can they can pull 3 in ahead.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
Burnley Wolves game is even more important. That's the game to watch.
Well, the thing
Well,
is,
depending on Burnley Southampton.
they're on the same number of games played. So if Burnley win tomorrow, they go to 28 points. But a game in they will have Everton will have a game in hand at that point, and of course Everton are going to get destroyed in the Merseyside derby.
Absolutely.
7-8
It's
nil,
not even.
something insane.
I don't know. It's a rivalry game, so we'll give it credit of 3-1.
I don't know. The only thing that's going to happen, the only way it ends close is if Jordan Pickford
It's at
karate
Anfield,
chops.
so yeah.
If Jordan Pickford kills Virgil van Dijk again, I guess it's entirely possible that Everton have a chance, but there's no way. Champions League coming up next week. We've got City hosting Madrid and Liverpool hosting Villarreal. I'm not entirely sure which if those are. I don't know if those games are being played in Liverpool and Manchester, but those are the games coming up next week. But yeah, James' pick of the week is going to be. I think I said Norwich, Newcastle.
You did.
I did. So I'm going to write that down. James' pick of the week. If you only have one game, if you only have 2 hours, one time this weekend, 10 a.m. If you're on the East Coast, Norwich versus Newcastle on Saturday morning, you should watch it. How do you feel about Brentford again, Sean? Pain?
It's another pressing team. Brentford,
Pain.
go for it. I think you're gonna feel the pain, brother. I think this is a draw. This is either a draw or Conte gets in their ass and they like the Spurs come out and just dominate. But I feel a draw here.
Well, I said last week. I think the team are learning. They're picking it up, which is I said it's progress because they looked more comfortable on the ball, and it looked like they were a little too comfortable on the ball last on the Brighton game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's going to be some school lessons this week. We ain't going to teach on the pitch. We're going to be like, hey, listen, motherfuckers. When I say be on the ball, I don't mean be on your own half. So Conte is going to have to be the teacher. He's going to have to bring out the chalkboard.
I don't think this is gonna be a chalkboard week. I think this is a run your ass into the ground week. The fuck were y'all doing week?
Yeah. I mean, there's going to be some of that. There's going to be some run to the other end of the field and come back and answer a question on the chalkboard.
Yeah, that might be what it is. Oh, you got it wrong? 2 laps.
2 laps. Yeah, no, because they still look themselves like I was just talking about. Like they're getting it. They're getting the passing around. They just couldn't cross half field. Like you're not getting the outlet out of the. You got the back part right. We got that right. You're just not getting the movement up front. So maybe just midfielders and strikers around. The defense is good. Because the defense was fine. The defense was fine all game. One bad ball squirt out from Romero and Dyer making a mistake. It was unfortunate and a mistake.
Yeah.
And we lost the game. And that's it. We played great for defense. Played great for 89 minutes.
You mean Hugo Lloris played great for 89 minutes? 12 shots. 5 shots on goal.
We're done. We are out of time. We
all
are
right, whatever.
Way beyond time. If you're still listening, thanks for listening. It's been a long one. We really appreciate you tuning in. It felt good for my end. That's why we kept going. But thanks for listening. Hit us with a comment. 5-star on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe. Share it with your brother. Share it with your mother. Whatever you can do. We would love for this to reach more people. Tell us what we can do better. We would love to hear all those things. Hit us up on Twitter. That's at KSBradG. Down below, that's at Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany. I forgot what my Twitter handle was for just a second. I had to look at it. And then we collectively are at Redcard_radio. Brad, you have an interruption, so hit it.
You forgot your name. That's hilarious. And Charlotte FC moves on in the U.S. Open Cup. We get our dub in extra time, 2-1. Let's go.
I think DC United won 3-0 in their Open Cup. But it doesn't matter because it's MLS and no one cares. But until next time, we will see you next week with another episode, recapping, talking about the comments, all the things. We really appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. Have a good night.